Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Luis. I'm a third year medical student from the Ateneo School of Medicine and Public Health, and welcome to the Med School Deep Dive, where I interview different medical students from different med schools around the Philippines about their experiences of being a student in their respective med school. But before we start this video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe as it really does support the channel. And with that out of the way, let's start the video.
So hey guys, now I'm joined by fellow med YouTuber Camille. So Camille, can you please introduce yourself to the audience?
Hi there, my name is Camille Pujalte. I am a third year medical student from OLFU. I'm also a med vlogger, and my pre-med is BS Psychology from UST. Yeah.
Okay. So to start things off, Camille, how would you describe your experience of being a student in OLFU? What's the school's curriculum like?
I would say that we're pretty like traditional. If yeah, traditional, like we would do lectures for a whole week, and then the following week we would have shiftings based on those lectures, and then like at the same time after the shifting we're gonna have another lecture. Parang that's like the process. Lecture for 1 week, and then shifting, lecture, and then at the end of um is it like trimester, like prelims, midterms, finals? So
Mm-hmm.
like we have prelims exams, so that's like the cumulative of all of the lectures that we've discussed. Yeah, it's basically like that.
Also, it's like you have like a shifting, which is like a quiz to some for like all your week's lectures. That was my parang the prelims. I assume is like a midterm.
Like no, the prelims is like a long exam.
Okay, and then like do you have a final at the end of the
Yeah,
semester?
it's like the semester is like divided into three, like prelims, midterms, finals.
So
But then wait, I'm kind of confused. Because in third year there's med block, surge block.
mm-hmm.
We're divided in two based on our last names. So like people with the last names from A to M are surge block, and then coming letter P until like Z, it's med block. So for third year, I don't know when I'm gonna become surge block. Dapat next sem, but I don't know when next sem is. Maybe next year.
Mm-hmm.
So right now we're in midterms, and then it's gonna be finals by the end of December.
Okay, so like the batch is like split into two, and then you just switch the curriculums.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. I assume because like your batch is big, so
Yeah,
because that's what they do in UST. Yeah,
we're like
they
800.
okay, yeah, yeah. That kind of explains it.
Yeah.
So like, given you said that you're a traditional curriculum, I assume that the grading system is subject based. So like, your grade for anatomy is separate from physiology, is separate from pathology, and so on.
Yeah.
Okay. So, one thing that I want to ask is that with the amount of with the students I've interviewed from other schools, there's usually like a variation on when the school starts teaching its students basic clinical skills, so your history
Mhm.
taking, physical exam, and usually it varies between starting it in first year so versus starting it in second year. So for in Olfu, when did the school start teaching you the basic clinical skills?
Second year.
Okay.
We
So
have
was
subject. Yeah.
this like in the form of like patient encounters?
Yeah, we have like this simulation center. It looks like a clinic, like with the beds, and then they would get patients, like they're paid patients. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's a called clinical medicine 1, because clinical
Mm-hmm.
medicine 2 is third year. Yeah, clinical medicine 1. So we need to get their stethoscope, all of the medical equipments, the medicine bag. Yeah, and then there would be a patient, and then they want us kasi to like perfect history taking. So like every week, history taking, and vital signs, the basics that you need. Yeah.
So now that like you're in third year, did they start introducing you to like the specific physical examinations for like first neuro or for cardio like this to
The second
like
year.
okay, okay, that was combined there. So like in third year, what are they supposed to like train you further in with regards to the physical exam?
if it wasn't for the pandemic, we would be seeing real patients na, like real cases. So like now that it's the pandemic, we would still have wards every week, like two ward cases every week. But then, yeah, if it wasn't for the pandemic, we would actually see the real patients, interview them, usual stuff. But second year, I think it was a good experience in terms of, like, because it's important to know how to talk to the patient. Like, it's not easy to extract information, diba? Parang you have to, it's not like, oh, what's your name? You're like that. How are you feeling? Like, since when did you start feeling that? Like, it's like a skill, like a, I don't know how to explain it. So like that was good experience for us in second year to be able to be exposed. Kahit they're paid patients, still it's a real person, diba? Parang, yeah, and we did all of the systems, the neuro, HENT,
Hmm.
skeletal, cardio, abdomen. Yeah, everything in second year.
Okay. Yeah, and then have to agree that like the whole history taking thing is a skill because like obviously like majority of our reference textbooks are in English, and then when you're treating like
Hmm.
someone here in the Philippines, obviously you have to speak in Tagalog, and obviously like if you just say it in English, they won't understand it
Yeah,
as well, diba? So it's lalo pa like you're doing like a mental state exam,
yeah.
and it's so
The
hard to
first
do that
one.
in
Yeah,
Tagalog, especially like when a lot of the questions
in
in
the
the
book.
instruments are in English.
Yeah.
Okay, so given so in your experience, how would you describe the teaching philosophy of the school? So are you like more heavy on the lectures, or do they like give you some other alternative teaching methods such as small group discussions and team based learning?
Yeah, everything. Yeah, we do all of that. SGDs and group works. Um, yeah. Right now, third year, we did like for internal medicine. We did lectures for onco, um, what's that? Onco, cardio, derma, rheuma. And then after they're done lecturing all of their topics, we've been doing SGDs. Yeah, so like before the Undas break, we did SGD for Onco. So they would discuss the lectures first, and then they would give us a real case for us to be able to apply the lectures that they gave us.
Okay, and then like you have they give you time to prepare for the small group discussion. Like so
Mm.
you have to research everything, and then like probably have in your mind like what the possible differentials are, and then what
Yeah, come up with
managements
your
you'll
own
do.
diagnosis, be able to rule in, rule out the diagnosis, the laboratory tests that need to be requested. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, so given given our shift now to distance learning because of the ongoing pandemic, what are some of the challenges you faced during this transition, and what did you do to try to overcome these challenges?
I don't know. It's probably time management. Yeah. Um. Yeah.
Yeah, so so given the your troubles with time management, how have you attempted like to tackle that challenge? Obviously, that we're stuck at home, and basically the room where you wake up and study in
Yeah.
is like basically where you are nearly for all 24 hours of the day. So how do you like motivate yourself to study and resist the urge to just procrastinate?
I'm gonna get something. Wait lang.
Okay.
Okay. So like, right, we've been like, um, there was like this long period in the during the pandemic that we weren't really doing anything. So like, there was a point where I forgot that I was a med student. Did that
Yeah.
happen to you? Like, parang we've been like just stuck in our house, and then there was like this sudden like, wait lang, med student nga pala ako, I forgot. And then like we had to do online classes, and then like I forgot na how to study. I don't know how to focus anymore. So like I'm still a paper person. Like, so I bought this notebook from Shopee. Yeah, and then
Mhm.
I just put stickers. But this has been helping me with time management because I started using it first day of third year. Yeah. So this notebook I really like because it's it has like this. Is it like it has this area? Can
Yeah.
you see it?
Yeah, there's a planner. There's like a
There's like this
planner.
area, like it starts at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
until 1 a.m. So like
Yeah.
I like to plan like everything so that I can see like how my day is going to be. Like, do you get me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I get that because like I schedule my days as well, and like
yeah,
like school provided us that structure
yeah.
to do, and then like now that we're left our own devices, like oh what now?
Mm,
We have to create the structure for ourselves, and I think like scheduling is or like having a checklist of things
yeah,
to do is
when you
super
see
useful.
everything, yeah.
Yeah,
Diba?
because if I like our like our brains have limited capacity, so far
Yeah.
you want to give it as little
Mm,
little need to think outside
mm,
of what you need to
yeah.
study, and like like having schedules is like easy hack for that.
That's true. Yeah, and then it's not that's not good. There's like a schedule, and then like there's like an
Mm-hmm.
important thing, and then like also a to-do list. Yeah, so
Okay.
I've been using this notebook like, yeah, it's like pretty full-ish. Yeah. Okay, that's it. So yeah, this has been helping me with time management.
Okay, so having studied in your med school now for more than a year, do you have any advice for people looking to apply to your med school, or and any advice in general for med students out there?
Mm, Probably to not be overwhelmed. That's like my every time someone asks me about like is med school hard, like I would be like, yeah, med school is hard. Like there's this tendency to be overwhelmed because the workload, the actually like med school is really interesting. Like it's really interesting to learn about everything, but then it's like so many to learn at this short amount of time, so it's so easy to be overwhelmed. So that's like my only tip, to not be too hard on yourself. Like it's really impossible to finish all of to when like during exams, like ang daming topics. And then you're gonna like tell yourself, oh, I have to finish everything, I have to finish everything. But then like the technique is to learn to study smart and not really be too hard on yourself whenever you don't finish right away, or um you don't get to accomplish everything that's in your to-do list. Like you just have to take everything step by step, and then eventually you'll get there.
Yeah, like I'd have to agree with that because like you can like even though like you do read everything, it's like you
Yeah.
won't retain everything. But I think I don't know, it's like that if you're a perfectionist, it's so hard. It's like it's so hard to be a perfectionist in
Are
med
you a
school.
perfectionist?
Like I grew up being a perfectionist, but I just accepted the reality
Yeah, yeah.
that I'll never like remember everything that I study, but as long as like I'm learning something, I
Exactly.
retain something, I think I've already done my absolute best.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's like, as long as I can apply it in the clinic, I think I'll be happy with that now. As long as I can use it to help someone and help
Yeah.
my patients. I think that's what matters the most at the end of the
Mm-mm.
day.
And to
So
not be like burned out. 'Cause it's so easy to
yes.
like burned out. Like that's why I always say like don't be too hard on yourself. Like I also tell myself that because parang if you're like gonna get burned out, wala.
Yeah, like as a fellow psych major also, it's like
Yes.
mental health is so
Yes.
important. Like there like it don't push yourself so hard if you just end up losing yourself in the
Mm.
process.
Mm. Yeah.
Okay, so going now naman to life outside the classroom, it's like what's the student body in OLFU like? Because like to my understanding, there's a quite a large international student population there
Mm.
compared to most Philippine medical schools.
Yeah, but we're separate. We don't get to, the curriculum is different from ours, and like we're kind of divided. We're like the local students, and then there's an Indian students, and then there's a international students. So whenever they post for like announcements, it's usually for just local students or for the Indian students. It's not like
Okay.
dived into.
Okay. So like parang there's no cohesiveness within
No.
the school. So parang separate entity ang mga
Yeah.
international students. Okay. So so like at least for you personally, what do OLFU students do for fun outside of the classroom to like de-stress and all that?
For me,
Yeah,
like
for at least for you.
before the pandemic.
Yes, obviously before yes, before the pandemic because obviously we can't go out now.
Yeah. Um, the usual like go out with friends, I guess. Yeah. Some group.
Um
Just the little things to like de-stress, and then like after that, like okay, study again.
it's like but like are you part of did you join any student organizations
Oh,
at your school or you decided like you'll just concentrate on ACADS while in med school?
I feel like I've done enough orgs during college.
Okay, so
So
like
yeah.
graduate ka na sa BS org.
Yeah, like nag-council na ako, psych-soc na ako before and stuff like that. But then I told myself that I'm gonna be low key with the orgs and stuff. But then I don't know, I end up being like I just don't wanna, what do you call this? I have this tendency to like get um I'm like super initiative. So like initiative, I always like take initiative during like group works. Now, oh, what do you guys want to do? And then I end up being the leader. So like I don't know if it's because I got used to it in college since council and stuff. But then
Mm.
in med school, I really wanted to try and just focus with ACADS. But being a leader in group works is also a good thing. So now in third year, I'm like I'm like a leader in like three groups. And I don't know, it's parang at first I was like, how am I gonna be able to do this like that? But then I also realized that it's a good experience. So like for other people, other students, try to be like try to initiate being a leader, because like even in the future, be having like leadership skills is a great um trait that you can have.
Mm. And like just to like regarding your experience so like from student council active in student council in college to being low key
Yeah.
in med school. It's like one of my friends said that I'm not gonna be active in med school guys and then now he's the student council president
Oh my
of,
god.
of my of my school. So like
Yeah,
what
but you can't like stay away from it and
like
just
if
go through
once
your.
you're active you're the
Yeah,
game's
that's
gonna pull
true.
you back one
Yeah,
way or
you
another.
have to be like, no, I'm sorry, no.
Yeah. Okay, so after being a student in your school now for like going on 3 years, while before the pandemic, while we could still go to school physically, what's one thing about your school that you really love?
I like how everything is near. Like my apartment used to be at the back of my school lang. Um like the apartments and the dorms are like really near from the campus itself. So like it
Mhm.
it would take me like 5 minutes just walk from my apartment to school, and I'm there 5 minutes. And then like all of the all of the classrooms, because there are different buildings, like the simulation center that I was talking to you about. It's like in a different building, and then the med building mismo is like in front, but then everything is close together, so that's what I like about it. Yeah.
Okay, so
And
like it's a pretty small campus. Like everything's like
it's
super.
not really small, it's more on like everything is just connected, that you don't feel like it's far.
Okay, so probably like it's a complex na everything
Yeah.
is within walking distance of one another.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like, cause like, yeah, I imagine like that'll be hassle. Like if it's like the size of like UP Diliman and like you have to go from one place to another, or like even in if you were in UST, that's a
Oh my
pretty
god.
big distance. Where like Budinang, like if they cluster all the related buildings together.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, so as a follow up question to that, like, what's one thing about your school that you wish that they'd improve on, or add within the remainder of your stay as a student?
I feel like I don't really know because everything is they keep on renovating a lot of the stuff. Like the library, the our library is just for med students, and then parang it was they were creating a second floor noon, so they were already expanding, and then
Mm.
like our bathrooms have bidets naman, and then yeah,
Wow.
because the bidet is important. You need the bidet.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so like we have bidets naman, and like there's an elevator. So we have two elevators now. Probably add another elevator. I don't know. I don't have anything naman
Like
to
no
really.
complaints naman. Like
Yeah, no
parang
complaints from me. Everything's okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so like before we end this interview, is there anything that you'd like to promote to our audience, or any messages that you'd like to, or advocacies you'd like to promote?
Mm, check out my YouTube channel. It's just Camille Pujalte, and for advice to incoming med students, and also if you're interested in um going to OLFU for your med school, my only tip probably is um to not be too hard on yourself, and that everything takes time. You're eventually going to be able to adjust to the curriculum because having quizzes constantly and like as in every day. Kasi talaga, parang there's no, it's nonstop. You're gonna reach a time, but you're just gonna be like, ano ba yan? Yeah, but then you're gonna get used to it. I got used to it now that I'm in third year. And
Mhm.
like, yeah. But everything, it's different na eh. And now that it's online classes, I don't know how it is for the first years now in OLFU and second years that are going through. Imagine online classes and you don't experience cadaver.
Yeah,
Like,
that's hard. That's hard.
diba? Parang like that's when you get into first year, parang, oh, cadaver, and that's like the parang exciting thing with being a first year medical student. Na wala. But yeah, the probably just the workload is really hard in OLFU because you don't it doesn't get easier.
Yeah,
It's never not gonna get easier. Like they said that um it's gonna get easier ng medyo third year. That's what. It's just different kasi we don't have as much quizzes compared to first year and second year. But then we don't get much quizzes because it's modular na. Like, diba you guys modular,
yeah,
so like they make it ipon. Is that how
yeah.
it is? Yeah,
It's all lumped up. It's all lumped
yeah,
up.
exactly. That I'm not used to that because in first year it was just like discuss quiz, but then now they're gonna like discuss everything, and then at the end on November this month we're gonna have our long exam for internal medicine, and like I'm just see I'm overwhelmed. But then like I always you have to it's a process, you have to just baby steps try and accomplish what you can accomplish, and then yeah.
Okay, so thank you so much for that, Camille. If any of you if any of you viewers are interested in checking out your channel, I'll leave links down in the description. So thank you so much, Camille, for your time and taking part in this interview.
Thank
And
you for
I hope
having me.
to collab with you again in the future.
Yes.